All right, hello everybody. Special end of the year episode. I'm off work tonight because tonight officially is the holiday as far as my schedule's concerned. So, I'm home and it is, what time is it? Should be right there.
12:49.
It's 12:49 in the afternoon and we're going to do a little quick episode of
Nothing but worry.
Very good. And I am Lance Ash, and beside me is my wife Bonnie,
Hello.
and she has got a laptop in her lap so that she can look at her blog, which is her main repository of knowing what she did this year, whereas I have my diary with me and a few things in my memory banks. So we just want to sort of go over what this 2025 has been like for us. Now, I want to go off start off the back by saying I did 45 paintings this year, which is very odd.
Productive.
It's very productive, but it's also strange because normally, on average, a painting takes me somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks. But you're talking almost a painting a week. I don't know how I did it. I also, and this is much to my shame, 20 years ago, if you told me this, I'd be very ashamed. I read 7 books this year. I used to read 30, 40, 50, sometimes 100 books in a year. I also posted 5 issues of my online magazine. I have no idea how many videos I posted. I know that I finished writing, recording, and posting an album and started doing another one. Those are the most tangible statistically that I can mention. There's some bad stuff we want to bring up too, but anything you want to go off, or just start off with, Bonnie?
Well, I think politics could take up an entire hour.
Well, we want to talk about our
Yeah.
personal lives more,
Then the way that the economy has changed over the past year and the way that our economic situation has changed. And it's the only thing that can really comes to mind for me.
Well, what did you do personally this year? What did you get done personally?
I cooked a lot and I wrote a lot.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I did was focus on writing for the purpose of grocery economy, saving money, etc. Cheap eats, cheap meals. I have a friend of mine that promotes my blog. And he's very fond of certain things. And he really likes sharing, especially when I do the cheap eats. And so I get a lot of good feedback through that. I posted a lot about politics this year because there was just something that was so bad about this year. And there was this disconnect between the reality that most people are experiencing and then the administration and the uber rich getting richer and the stock market continuing to grow and how it really doesn't affect any of us, the everyday plebes.
Mm-hmm.
And the most we've seen is 4.5% growth in any of our accounts, And it's everybody else is like, oh, we've got several hundred new millionaires, etc. here in the States. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And the guy in charge of the country is saying, oh, there's no problem. Prices are down. Everything is a complete, total lie. These are people who don't even understand how to shop, They just click a button and it's there, and they don't have to worry about anything because everything's paid for that automatically. Everything is handled for them. They're not having to clean their house and scrape together a meal and figure out when they're going to have time, to spend with their kids or whatever, it's just, this gap has just grown so much more.
How many books would you? Wait, let me make sure we are recording, aren't we? Yeah. How many books would you say you read this year?
A couple dozen. That's not my best year, but I can't even tell you what all series I went through. Some things I picked up again. Other things I tried for the first time, series-wise. And I found myself ignoring the news as much as possible, looking only at headlines. The things that bothered me the most, other than the economics, was Bobby Brainworm and his destruction of the vaccination program and healthcare in America. That strikes home for me, particularly. And I've fallen back into reading more history, watching more history. I've also done a couple binges of shows, trying to just ignore what's going on.
That's one of the things I did want to mention. You introduced me to Slow Horses this year, and we watched all,
Six seasons? Something, yeah.
So that was something. I've got my diary here, so I can take a quick... Oh, I'll tell you something else. I went to the movies at the actual theater for the first time in 8 years, probably.
Will you be going back again to the movies?
It depends what if there's something really good, yeah, something that intrigues me. But most of the time, most movies hold no interest for me. So
yeah, I downloaded a couple movies this year. I can't even tell you what they were. I think I watched the second half of the Mission Impossible movie, but I like big dumb summer movies. Peter and I watched Predator together. We watched Conan together. Those were a lot of fun to rewatch after so many years. But new movies? Yeah, next to nothing. I watched a new series called Department Q. That was a Netflix thing. We did the Slow Horses. It seems like I went back and rewatched the Bones series, so now I'm reading the Kathy Reichs Bones series. I think I'm reading it for the first time because I may have had a couple of the books along the way, here and there, but I'm trying to read it from the start. And I started another series. It's Irene Kelly, a reporter series, and that's really pulp of pulp. But it's quick, easy read. Sometimes one of those things you just want to fall asleep to because you're not really compelled to keep going. I can't say that I really got into any new music this year. I have stopped riding around with Peter, and my new car doesn't have that great of a sound system, and doesn't have a CD player at all. So I haven't kept up with anything that's on the radio. And I have gone through a few periods where I go back and listen to things on YouTube that are old, but honestly, music for me, next to nothing. I don't recall us going to see any art at all this year. No museums, nothing, except for, didn't you have a show earlier this year?
yeah, I did have a show. Yeah. You know, I wish
I did get some of Tom Hancock's paintings for the house.
I wish I had some sort of place to keep a list of stuff that I've come across, new things, because I have no idea what I discovered this year. I mean, I discovered that TV show, yes, but I will tell you of something new musically I discovered this year. The band Static X, discovered them this year. But outside of that's about it really. Can't think of any artists I've discovered. Well, I'm sure there are on Pinterest. There's some people I've discovered. If I was to go back through my They're called boards, right?
Yeah, I've also created a couple new boards as a form of escapism, trying to imagine life somewhere else.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I've discovered. Okay, I'm gonna thumb through my diary real quick here and see what has been happening this year. Okay, this is my entry for New Year's Day 2025. The big canvas is too big. Need to redo the playroom and maybe the easel too. Rough going mentally, conceptually. But I got my shit together and came up with a way forward for the new year. Reed came over to pick up cookbooks. Found out she has a lot of oh my goodness, I didn't say that.
Don't say that.
Slept okay. Only managed 8 rounds of calisthenics. So
So the cookbooks brings us to another thing that happened this year. We ended up getting a lot of cookbooks from your mother's estate. When your sister took Jane to Montana in the Great American Redoubt to live out there and die out there, the house had to be sorted through. And you told Catherine that you wanted the extra cookbooks. She, of course, picked the best ones for herself. And so she sent these boxes of cookbooks to us. You remember this? And there was just this shit ton of crappy cookbooks. So I went through and got rid of a lot of them just outright because it was like Better Homes and Gardens special magazine edition. A lot of crap. I didn't mind so much the church and 4-H fundraising cookbooks. Those are kind of fun because you find things like Coca-Cola cake and 7-Up cake and Mississippi mud pie, things you had from your childhood. So I ripped out a couple pages of recipes there. But I still had all these other cookbooks, and some of them were actual basics, like a guide to how to create cakes, wedding cakes or whatever. So I set those aside, and Reed came over and picked out some books. And we took the rest of them up to the library to donate.
I will have to go through this separately because I can't sit here and thumb through this and pay attention. But I do see something here on the 4th of January, earlier this year. I took the 4 maps for the which was narrative comic strip portion of my magazine and took them out to UGA to photograph them. I thought I did that when I was still working at North Metro, but apparently not. All right, anyway, I'm gonna set this aside. I can't go through 365 days of entries to figure out what I did this year. I'll have to do that separately. But let's go over some bad things that happened. I wrecked my car. That was a bad thing that happened. What bad things happened?
People all day kept asking me, is Lance okay? And my response was, he is now until I kill him. Yeah, I was really pissed off because it was 2 weeks after we'd paid the car off. And we were delayed in getting a final insurance payout because the title had to be released. And it had to be signed over to the insurance company with total payout. But that ended up working out for the best because that meant I spent a lot of time looking for a car for you, and you got the best one possible.
Yeah. Well, another bad thing, I should have mentioned this first. I guess most people mention it first. My mother died back in September. So that was a bad thing that happened. Anything else? Anything bad happened to you this year?
Well, going back to what happened with your mom, they moved out to Montana, and change for anybody with dementia is highly disturbing. And she had a very difficult crossing from Georgia to Montana. It took them 3-4 days. And during that time, she went loopy. She went out of her mind. And they settled in. They got her calmed down. But it was like one of those final things that broke everything. And it wasn't but 2 months later, she deteriorated to the point that nobody could leave her alone, ever. And they couldn't take her anywhere. And she was requiring care at all hours. So they had to move her into a home. And then she got sick a couple of times at the home. And the whole process, it just devolved very quickly. And it went to the worst possible state. To the point that at the end, she became angry, violent, mean-tempered, which is not your mother at all. And then she began, then she went to the quiet phase where she didn't recognize anything.
Yeah, my sister said she would make hateful remarks to her,
Yeah.
which is not something my mother would
Yeah, I mean,
do normally.
she was a good mother-in-law overall. She drove us crazy a lot of the time. Pick up the phone if you're there. Pick up. That used to drive me nuts.
She really liked you, and she thought you were good for me.
Well, I am good for you, dear.
And I think everybody thought you were good for me, and helped
Do
me.
you think I'm good for you?
Yes, I do. I think we complement each other really, really well.
There's something there that works with us.
Oh dear. But I think overall it was a very productive year, and I'm having to make some decisions, and I'm coming to some decisions about the way forward for the coming year. That's one of the things I wanted to mention on this episode. I'm glad you agreed to do this because I really wanted to have a. I love that picture right there.
Oh, yeah.
My birthday is near the end of the year. Not long after my birthday is the new year. So I always see the two things as an opportunity to reassess things and make some decisions about how to move forward. And the fact is, I'm 56 now, and based on the average length of time my grandparents lived, I've probably got another 30 years to go.
Oh, God. I'm stuck with you another 30 years?
Yes.
Jesus
And
Christ.
so I need to start wrapping things up, moving towards, boiling things down to the essence. And what's important to me, above anything, really, is the drawing and painting. And I've just come to accept the fact that mainly, if you want to talk about what kind of drawing and painting I do, I'm an illustrator. And since basically I illustrate my own text, I'm an author/illustrator. And that's become what's the most, it connects with me on the deepest level. So I've got to start, eliminating stuff that distracts from that. I'm compelled to keep up my guitar playing and my songwriting, but it's really not that important to me anymore. I'm not going to let those skills slide, but at the same time.
You had your amp fixed this year. You want to tell them about that?
Well, I think, you just review the episodes.
I think you ought to tell them.
Well, I got
That's the summary.
I got my amp fixed, and the guy didn't quite understand what was necessary. I had to take it back over there twice, and anyway, finally got it done. Um, but I'm glad I got that done finally. I wish I could get my guitar refurbished. I mean, just A to Z, top to bottom, front to back, get the whole thing,
What would that
get
take?
both. Well, I'd like to get the electronics redone. Like to get new pickups put in it. I'd like to get new, um, especially on the one that doesn't really work right. I've got two SGs. One is a black SG that I got 35 years ago, and the other one is sort of mahogany red, and no idea how old it is. It's a late '60s one, and that needs a hell of a lot of work. If I had the money, I'd do that. I also need a new wah wah pedal, and but
We celebrated our 30th anniversary.
yeah.
We went to Atlanta. We had snacks up there. You want to look at your diary that day and see what we did?
Okay. Let's see
That's a
here.
very specific day.
Did we do it on the actual day?
Well, somewhere around mid-May. I don't know.
Let's see here. All right, let's see here. January, February, March, April, May, fifth month. Well, what the hell's that? There's a receipt in here for something. Huh.
You want me to read it?
Now I'll take a look at it later. Okay. All right. Our anniversary is the 11th. Okay. It says here we went to Atlanta on the 9th. Went to Atlanta with Bonnie today. Wound up cutting it short because there's no way we could have done everything. We came home with a car full of food. Listened to music in the car and talked. All right. Okay, well, anyway, that's all I had to say about that.
Okay.
On the 12th, it says, I strained my neck and shoulder blade area on the right lifting weights yesterday. This happens when you haven't worked out in a couple of days.
Oh, Lord.
Drank a lot of prune juice at work. Ah, yes. Include all the details.
No, thank you.
Bonnie is distracted looking through her blog for the past year. So, anything to say?
Yeah, this has been a depressing year as I look back over the politics.
I know, but I really don't want to discuss that
Okay, fine.
aspect of things.
I got used to using my Instant Pot this year. I've used it a lot.
When did you get that thing?
Last year. End of last year or so. And I just buckled down. I mean, because prices have kept going up for food. It means we're eating more and more beans. And they're dry beans, not just...
You've had that thing since 2024?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, like yesterday, I cooked 3 cups of black beans. And it made like 8 cups cooked. And then I took the last of the tofu. There were 4 blocks of tofu in the fridge that were all just past the Best By date. So I baked all of that in cubes. I made a huge batch of black beans and tofu for burrito filling.
Yeah, she sent me to work last night with 2 homemade burritos, and they were fabulous.
Yeah.
She was afraid they were going to fall apart because they started falling apart when she was grilling them, but they were fine. Sent me with a
I
bottle.
overstuffed them.
Sent me with a bottle of hot sauce. Turned out really well.
I was thinking the other day I had to order more hot sauce. Then I looked in the pantry, and we have another half gallon. And so we've got, a good 24 ounces left in the one we have in the fridge, then another half gallon.
Yes.
This is the third or fourth bottle of a half gallon of the hot sauce I've bought. It's the Cholula Chipotle.
Probably not tonight. I'm getting confused here. This is not the weekend yet. I have tonight off, then I go back for 1 day, then off 2 days. But probably in the next couple of days, I'll be breaking open the jar of gochujang we bought when we went to Atlanta this most recent time.
Yeah, you got some bruschetta this time, and I don't particularly care for it. I much prefer the Aviar.
I do too, but I was surprised. You picked it out. I didn't pick it out, I don't think.
No, you picked it out.
Well, anyway, it I think it's tasty. There's this sweetness to it almost.
Yeah, which is why I don't really like it.
Well, but there's 2 things I use the gochujang for. Gochujang is a Korean condiment. It is fermented red pepper paste. In Korean cuisine, it's mainly used for barbecuing, I believe. But I use it for 2 things. I spread it on the inside of a tortilla, then slice Swiss cheese on it, and then put some spinach in there. Nuke it in the microwave, roll it up, nuke it again, let it cool down for a little bit. It's very hot and flavorful. But you can also put a spoonful or so in the bottom of a bowl. When you're making ramen, just before the water starts to boil, take a little water out of the pot, and put it in there and mix it up so that the gochujang becomes a thin, watery paste. Then dump your ramen and whatever else you're going to mix it, and mix it up. It's really good. Sometimes you can get gochujang that is absolutely volcanic. And this kind I got. When did we go? We went there about a month ago, right?
We went over the week where Thanksgiving occurred.
That's right. I was off that week. Yeah. So yeah, it's been over a month ago we went. Anyway, this kind has got a guy on the label, and flames are coming out of his mouth. And as I recall, this is a really hot brand. What is that?
That's baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes.
Haven't had baked potatoes with very little hoo-ha. That's our word. I used to just make baked potatoes, throw them in the oven, and then I left some in for a little bit too long, and they exploded. So when I came across this idea, it was basically you clean the potatoes, poke them all around, you rub them in olive oil, and then roll them in garlic salt, and you put a tablespoon or 2 of water in a pan with the potatoes. You cover them over with aluminum foil, and you just put them in the oven for like an hour, hour 15, hour 30. And they're perfect because at an hour I uncover them and check, see how long I need to go, and then I flip them so the bottom becomes all brown underneath, and when I flip them, the next side gets all brown and toasty. So it's really yummy. And the garlic salt and the olive oil just soften the skins on it.
I haven't had baked potatoes in a while.
We're going to have some. This is my favorite painting that you've done. It is the author
Shel
Silverstein.
Silverstein.
And he is sitting in a chair, and the back of his head is opened up, and the doctor is behind him, burrowing into the head, and in front of him, he's watching a performer, a musician. It's like as if the doctor is trying to figure out how the brain is responding to the music or something.
No.
But the characters...
The title of the painting is Stealing a Poem.
Ah, is that
And
what it is?
this eagle man is playing a saxophone to distract Shel Silverstein.
While
And
the
this
other
sort of
one is...
lizard man is reaching in his head and pulling out a scroll, which apparently contains a poem that Shel Silverstein has written.
Ah.
When I was a kid, 3rd grade, Where the Sidewalk Ends was all the rage.
Oh, yeah.
And every teacher had a copy of it, and they would read you from it. And as a kid, I just thought, this guy, Shel Silverstein, is just a genius. These poems are funny, and they're clever, and the drawings that go with them are really well done. And the picture of him on the back of the book was so goddamn creepy. I'm like, this guy looks like an evil cult leader, like some strange evil hippie, you know. And I love Shel Silverstein. I have never had a chance to really get into his book Falling Up. Because, he did Where the Sidewalk Ends, and then the follow-up was A Light in the Attic. And then many, many years later did Falling Up, which I've never really listened or read. I need to read it, get into it. What a life. What a life, just to be able to do that for a living, Once every 20 years come out with an illustrated book of funny poems. Just, my God. One of my favorite, I can quote this one. Lazy, 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 lazy Jane. She wants a drink of water, so she waits and waits and waits and waits and waits for it to rain. That's a good one. Oh my God. So many good ones. Captain Hook. The one about the pancakes. Don't pick your nose because there's a snail that lives in your nose that will bite your finger off.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jimmy Jet and his TV set. Oh, that was
What's that one about?
It's about this little boy who loved to watch television so much that he turned into a television.
Oh.
Very prescient, because we're all becoming television sets.
That's true. It feels that way. Everybody's always stuck on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you go somewhere, it just invariably half the people are looking at their phone at the very moment you just glance up. And
The distinction
people,
between you and the technology that you are immersed in is becoming less and less.
Yeah.
You see people what?
In the past, I've seen people at restaurants sitting with someone, and both of them are on their phones.
Can't look away for a second.
It's ridiculous.
Speaking of which, next time, well, no, I shouldn't say that. There's two options. Next time we go out to eat, I'd like to go to Mediterranean Grill.
Yeah.
But then I'd also like to go to Taqueria La Paria. Because we've just become so used to defaulting to Agua Linda that I haven't been to Taqueria La Paria in a long time, and I want to go there.
They do have a vegetarian mushroom corn. What is it called?
God Almighty,
It's the corn. It's wrapped.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Why'd you have to ask me?
And then they have a rice and beans that I could eat, and the salsa. The problem is there are fewer things there for me to eat that are cheese and dairy free.
Bonnie, we got to do something about this. You can't live the rest of your life without eating cheese.
the option is passing blood.
Listen, if it's a choice between eating cheese or not eating cheese and passing blood, I'll eat the cheese.
Well, it starts at the top, then it comes out. Yeah, it's bad. It's really fucking bad how bad it's become. Used to be I was lactose intolerant, and then at some point it just flipped. And I'm miserable for hours and sometimes days. It causes massive inflammation all over, and it takes 24 hours for it to get out of my system. And I'm just rushing to the bathroom by the end of it. It's horrible.
This
No, I can't do this, dear. I'm sorry.
this is going to drive me crazy.
What?
Not fajitas, not chimichangas, not tequila. It's on the tip of my tongue what the damn things are called.
Oh. Not tostadas. What is it?
Just look it up. You're right. You got the internet right in front of you.
Mexican?
Mexican cuisine, cornmeal.
Oops.
She's looking you up, folks. Dead air.
Tamales?
Tamales.
Vegetarian tamales.
Yeah.
And it's got this lovely cornmeal with mushrooms and onions inside of it.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's cooked in the husk. That is so good.
Yeah.
We might have to go back just for that. Oh, and margaritas. See, you can drive.
Yeah.
I can get a salted rim margarita, a slushie, and I could get the rice and beans, no cheese. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it that way or not. And I could do...
Well, why is Agua Linda preferable for your non-dairy ways?
Because they have the really good guacamole. That is a meal in and of itself, is the chunky guacamole. And they also have the 3 salsas. They have the green, the brown, and the red.
Yeah.
And those are divine. And I've been able to get rice there without any cheese. The beans, however, are cooked in it. I don't know. I guess the tamales would make it worth going to the other place. If they can have that there.
Well, also for me, it's a matter of the atmosphere. I just think Taqueria La Parrilla is it's a little darker, it's a little more intimate. I love going when Soccer Fever is in the air and they're playing.
Yeah, they've got the games on.
Playing soccer
great.
games on TVs in there. Well, okay. Look, I don't want to make this a really long episode. I want to make it just like a special.
Oh, okay.
So look, let's talk about what are your plans, intentions, so forth for the coming year.
Well, Reed came over yesterday and gleefully announced that she has renewed her lease, which means August to the following August. They always give it to her in December, January. She was scared at first because they gave her one price, and she thought, oh no, I'm going to have to move in with my boyfriend and his mom. And then his mom announced that the price that she was going to charge for rent was going to be almost as much as Reed's apartment in this for the new lease. And Reed's like, I wouldn't even have my own bedroom. I don't have my own personal space. Fuck that. And then the lease company came back and said, we made a mistake by $130. So they raised her rent by only $50 instead of the $180 she thought it was going to go up. And so she and I have talked about doing stuff around her place since she's going to be there another year and 8 months at the very least. And she's excited about that because she lives 1/10 of a mile from the hospital. It's literally 2 streets. She walks down her street and then goes down the other, crosses the road, and she's at the hospital. And so we're excited about that. An asshole smoker has moved in downstairs, so he smokes outside. So we're going to confine everything to just being on the inside and redoing things. Her cat has been keeping her very happy. And the cat's getting used to me. So I won't mind being over there helping her out. So maybe she and I can do a couple of little shopping trips and end up getting some new furniture for her. And I'd like to read more this year. Watch less. And I would like to make some plans on doing improvements around here. The problem is there's this balance of money versus reality. And I would like some landscaping done around here. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to fit in with general repairs. I've also been thinking about dabbling in my photography again. But I'm not sure if I really want to do that. I sat down with one of the software programs the other day and was playing with it. And it reminded me why I enjoyed doing photography and graphic design stuff. I'm not quite sure what direction my writing's going to go in this year. I'm trying not to be as upset by the news and politics. But I really don't know what's going to happen. And we are tightening our belt financially. We're changing the way that we buy things. A lot more purpose and intent. And I'm going to be doing a lot more home cooking this year. So get used to that, babe. More beans.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to I'll tell you, that's not just tonight.
What?
But I'm going to start taking it easier. Because I've basically reached a point where I think I can take it easy.
You mean at work?
At work, at home, everything.
Well, it would be interesting if you're able to bid on a day job. If they've got 2 days together.
I'm going to try. We'll see.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
And if Peter is able to move in with Megan this summer, that's the tentative plan, that means us taking over that end of the house. Mm-hmm. And liberating it from Peter. Turning his den into your main art studio. Turning his bedroom into your workspace. And then your current studio maybe into a storage room. Because he is going to leave a little bit behind. And then we have to go through some things. So putting stuff into a little area to help sort would help. Yeah. I would like to redo the pantry this year. But again, it's going to involve so much. And the prices of wood have gone up. And even using and reusing some of the wood, I don't have enough to build up the food pantry the way I want to.
So, I think that's about got it. Anyway, we'll probably do another episode this coming weekend.
Yeah, but today's officially New Year's Eve.
Today's New Year's Eve. Won't be any big celebrations. We're not going to have a big drunken blowout. There'll be no fireworks. We're not going to go anywhere.
When the kids were living with us, we used to have a huge feast on New Year's.
Yeah. And we would snack on it. It wasn't like a sit-down meal. It was like
thing.
Right. Yeah.
We would bring out the round card table, and then we would do dips and chips and cookies,
crackers and cookies and
crackers
little
and
pickles and stuff. And
it was always really nice and several different bubbly drinks.
Right. We had the fake wine, the fake champagne. Yeah.
No, we had real champagne a couple years.
Well, anyway, all right. So I think that's about got it. We'll talk again in a couple of days. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
All right.